Is this week 6 or week 7?
That was week 5.
5.
That's the one.
Whoops, it's still week 5.
My school week is week 6 this week, I think, going into week 7.
We're going into week 4?
Jesus. Why'd y'all start so late?
Because we're going late. We're going like a week later, and we don't get spring break.
Yeah, see, we're done in like April,
Ooh.
so...
That fucking sucks.
Yep. They think it's
Ugh.
the best course of action, to which all of us go, we don't want to suffer, stop.
Yeah, no, don't worry. We also got a shortened spring break, too.
We literally have no spring break.
Yeah, but like, that's fine.
We have the 2 days in April for Easter, and we have like 2 built-in mental health days now.
Mental health days.
Good enough. That's what we need. And in all honesty, they might take one of those away, because I think one of those is a Tuesday, and we've missed like 3 Tuesdays worth of classes, and we've only had 3 weeks of classes. 'Cause snow.
True. We only missed 1 day last week.
Are y'all not doing online for snow days?
Oh, we are.
Gotcha.
But some courses are still in person. They're just like, we aren't meeting online. And some courses go, yeah, you are. So, I'd like to thank Michael for my amazing mug.
Oh.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
And if you
I don't know.
And if you don't, well,
No,
how could
it's
you?
a cool-
You're
it's a-
blasphemous.
That's a cool
Yeah.
mug. I'd like to thank my wallet for picking up Pocky yesterday.
Dosh,
Thank you, wallet.
you will eventually know what this mug is, I'm sure, because you will eventually play the game franchise it's a reference to.
Maybe, I don't know. I know I'm picking up Bravely Default this week, probably.
I mean, you've played the Danganronpas, right?
I started a Danganronpas.
Yeah, it's the other visual novel hell franchise. It's the Zero Escape one.
Yeah, I won't get around to that. That's too much work.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Oh,
They're wonderfully bad. You
do
should
it.
definitely play them.
Too much
They're not bad. They're amazing.
If you're wondering why we're not talking anime yet, we're actually just waiting for Dylan. We're
Waiting
live,
for the
but waiting
Pueblo.
for Dylan. He will
So
be here.
I've been playing a lot of chess recently. That's fun.
I know. I watched
we
you.
saw.
I watched you have that unfortunate unfortunate
so
rando run.
good. I love T-posing out of a safe state. I didn't know it was a thing that could happen, but I know now.
Yeah, Jackman Dodge locked his game. He soft locked the game.
I saw my game, and so I was just like, "Fuck it, we streaming chess now."
Sora
But he
was-
didn't turn off the game, so the Cave of Remembrance music was just continuously playing
Yeah.
the entire
Sora
time.
was just T-posing, and he couldn't move, and could only move the
What?
camera up and down.
What?
Speaking of, I probably have time to play a chess game now.
I mean, maybe.
Probably.
I
I mean,
Alright.
you could be playing chess the entire podcast. We wouldn't even know.
That's true, but like, I'm not that weird, toxic.
But let's say hi. Hi, everybody. This is the 5th week, the 5th episode of the Saber Slay podcast. It's us. We're back. There's gonna be harsh and strong language, and there's gonna be spoilers. Probably, maybe, almost certainly. While we wait for Dylan, yo, Jujutsu Kaisen this week though.
And
Yo, pretty good.
Oh,
best
good.
show of the year. By far.
It's so good, dude.
Best shonen of the year.
What one anime of the year this year?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Was it Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah.
I don't think it technically deserves it, but if we're counting like what's about to happen as the second half of it, what came out for that year, sure. I mean, it's going to be anime of the year when it's done running, but it isn't done running yet.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
like
mean-
if you just took the first 12 episodes. This
That shit cleaned house in the fucking.
It
anime
just
awards.
never stopped. It just never went down.
Yo, when we got the OP 8 mans into the episode and then still got a mid card,
Oh my God.
blew my fucking
Yeah.
brain.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Dude, I was so sad when the episode ended.
Yeah, when they end
I
up,
wanted
the ED.
more.
Yeah.
I wanted more.
Dude,
Toto is the best
When-
anime character in existence.
the bitch slapping?
Toto literally
Dude.
out here just like giving this man a full like fucking 3-course lecture like in the middle of like combat, and the fucking tree man's just like, what? Huh?
Fucking the two of them.
Dude, the scene where he's just concentrating and like his spit is just like drooling out. It's like, what the fuck?
Head empty.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm stupid. I just missed a free queen.
It's so good. Yeah, no, I'm also really excited that like we still also got other people to fight first before we just fucking tossed it over to Itadori and
Yeah.
like
It's like a tag team, yeah.
yeah. I mean those two are I don't think there's a better there's gonna be no better relationship in anime after those
I
two.
mean,
Nothing can
he
match
is his
them.
best friendo.
Besto friendo.
My
Brother.
friend.
My
My
friendo.
friend. Oh, it's so good.
I think the Makin Fushiguro stuff was really good, but yeah, the Toto and Itadori was great.
Yo,
Oh.
can one of you boys get that for me? If you didn't
Yeah,
already.
I'm trying. I don't remember.
For
Here
what?
it is.
There's a, we got a bot in chat.
Oh, fuck.
I just like to get
Oh.
them.
Oh, but like big follows, big follows.
Yeah, yo, we can get them big follows.
Gotta get those big follows though. Okay, this guy still blundered his queen. We're fine.
Oh. Is anyone else watching anything while we wait for Dylan?
I'm watching LCS.
The standard trash show redo of Healer.
I mean,
I
I've been
was
keeping
sent-
up with Idly Pride.
I was sent a screenshot by Elvis because him and I finished Haikyuu to the top season 2. Finally.
Good man.
But him and I watched that together. But he was talking to me about what he was watching. He's like, "Yeah, I'm watching redo of Healer because I hate myself."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they watched it with like a group. Like it was like a night showing with Painless and
Oh,
a couple
Lord.
other dudes just in the Ashen chat.
I wish I was awake for that.
But he sent me a screenshot from like episode 4 or 5, and it's just 80% of the screen is blacked out because it's on the censored version.
Oh, why are you watching
yeah,
the censored
No,
version?
he
Come
wasn't.
on.
He
Can't watch
was.
censored.
He wasn't. But a friend of him had the screenshot and sent it to him. He's
Oh.
watching it uncensored. He assured me of that. He's like, I'm not an idiot. He's like, if I'm going to experience this, I'm going to experience it in the worst.
The
I'm
way
gonna
true
watch
and
porn. I'm gonna
professional
watch
way.
porn, like.
Dodge, have you watched episode 6 Vitally Pride?
Fuck no, dude. I watched literally every single episode yesterday. I completely like looked at my schedule and like forgot until like yesterday, and I got home from clinical and was like, I have to watch every anime. No.
It's bad.
So episode 6 of Vitally Pride, we get an idol performance from both groups. And that idol performance, definitely my favorite PowerPoint presentation I've ever seen.
Oh, that's powerful.
Episode 7 was really good though. It's just a nice slice of life with all the characters vibing. I mean, it is the swimsuit episode, but like they're just vibing the entire episode, and it's a good time.
I think.
We checked out some more dubs for Skate and Horimiya. The whole cast for Horimiya is good. It's not just the main cat. Like literally everybody's perfect. We watched the episode where Toru and Mia get in the fight. Dude, the voice actor for Toru is so good. His range of being like tough guy and then immediately flip flopping to wimp who goes is really good.
Oh my god.
The very first punch Miyamura hits Toru with, the scream that leaves Toru's mouth is the most hysterical thing I've ever seen.
I mean, I still think my favorite bit of that episode is when Toru slaps Miyamura and goes, "Oh shit."
Yeah, no, it's
Oh, no!
Toru and Miyamura are fighting. It's just, oh shit, and then he gets his ass kicked, and it's so good. The only voice that might be like not great is the little brother, but it's a child, so.
Oni-chan. Man, I can't wait to talk about that show this week. It was so good.
What show?
Horimiya. It felt like it was like 6 different episodes in one too. Like it felt like
It
there was
always
so
feels
much
like that.
going on in this episode that like it really fucked with me when I was watching. So I'm like, okay, we're talking about these characters. No, we're talking about these characters. No, we're back to the main character. No, or we're.
I
was just trying to
rewatched the
catch
last
up.
3 episodes, and I was like, I missed so much when I first watched these.
Yeah, like there's actually so much that happens.
The other show we watched the dub of was Skate. Skate dub's good.
Oh, really?
Mia's voice is really good. I think Adam's
Boy,
voice.
that show was good.
We finally got. We'll talk this week, Dosh, and if I have to push you off a cliff, I will. Adam's voice in the dub is wonderful. It is the most like. God, I hate like you hate hearing it because it makes you like Like it makes you uneasy.
It's a
every
character
time
you
he
love to hate.
talks. Yeah,
The character you love to hate.
He does a very good job of making a hateable character.
and the rest of the cast is just good. Like Cherry sounds exactly the way you would expect a dub Cherry to sound like.
Yeah.
Same with like everybody. The only voice that might be like a little. Reki's voice is the only one that I'm still unsure of. I think it works. I just think that I definitely need to see how he delivers lines later in the show. Particularly probably this episode we just watched, how the dub voice actor for Reki delivers it would really matter to me.
That's perfect because Reki's still the only character I'm unsure of in this show.
We'll talk.
Eventually.
Yeah, when Dylan
Maybe.
gets here, maybe.
If Dylan
Maybe
gets
not.
here.
I have some opinion. I'll let you guys know I'm voting 3 shows off this week again.
How many shows are there? Let's see. I'm
Nine.
voting off that one,
Nine,
that
right?
one, that one.
I plan to vote off 2.
I think 3 or 4.
I wonder which 2 you're voting off, Michael.
I wonder. It's almost like I directly told you exactly what they were gonna be like yesterday.
Yeah. You probably know 2 of my 3. It's just a matter of figuring out what the third one I'm voting off is.
Yeah, I assume I can guess the 2, because those are probably the same 2 I'm doing. And I'm not sure about the third.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We
Which is
might
good.
disagree on this, but I have a pretty solid reason I want that third show gone. And like I'm pretty.
I have an idea, because there's only one show here I can think of that you'd be slaying. Because I know it's definitely not Back Arrow.
He's here.
Hello,
We're streaming.
hello.
We're live, by the way, just so you know right away.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, you're good. So
I woke up
Dylan,
early for this, damn it.
we were talking
Early?
We started
Yeah.
talking about this already. Jujutsu Kaisen. Did you watch the new episode?
I
this
watched
week?
it. I watched it. Don't talk to me.
Oh,
Don't talk to me. I watched
Dylan!
it.
It's a good thing we did the segment before you got here. Then.
Yes.
Are you
perfect.
watching anything else, or no? You're too busy drowning in clinical work.
I
Yes,
watched
That one. That one.
I watched the newest episode of. Wait, did I watch? No, I still have to watch the newest episode of Ruby, but their mid-season break's over, so I watched
Oh.
it. It's only like it's 17 minutes episodes. Like I could do that. That's doable.
I have a really good conversation I have to share with you, Dylan, because I think you will appreciate this. I video called my girlfriend for Valentine's Day, and we were talking, and we were video chatting over Discord. So I hear her roommates in the background, and they're yelling about Salem's titty window in her outfit design. To which my girlfriend explains, look, we're just debating about who came up with the idea for the titty window in her outfit, and she's like, my friends
It was
think,
me. I
my
did.
friends think it's Tyrion because he's such a simp. And I was like, now hold on, that doesn't make any sense. I don't
Ooh,
think
we got
Salem would
chalky milk.
listen to Tyrion's opinions
Chalky
ever.
milk time.
To which then I thought about it. When does Salem get the titty window? And my answer, so I had to go back to season 6, episode 3, where we get the lore dump about Oz and her, and I checked, and when Oz gets back to her and she's like full evil, transitioned from being engulfed in a pool of darkness, she does indeed have the titty window. So I had to explain to her friends that they were wrong because the lore of Ruby is that Salem's titty window has just always existed since she's become evil. To which we have a
What the
really
fuck?
good out of context quote from me, which is, I will not lose the argument about lore of titty windows.
Yeah.
What did I just
will-
come
will
to?
win the lore argument of the titty windows.
Truly, I'm a man of culture.
Of course.
Of course, naturally.
Get yourself
Well-
a girlfriend you can argue about titty windows with.
Titty windows.
What do you mean? I can go teams without a girlfriend. As an
True.
expert on all things.
You
Oh, yeah,
gotta-
Pablo-
You gotta start with titty windows.
He
with
has
that.
not watched Jujutsu Kaisen yet, Jackman.
Oh,
I've not. I'll probably watch
Oh.
it today after this. No, I
I'll
have
watch
D&D
it. No,
after
we got
this.
D&D.
Hey, just put it on the
Watch
background.
it.
Put it on the background. Just mute for a while.
Apparently,
It'll be fine.
the newest episode of Boruto.
good.
Today's Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I won my resignation.
The newest episode of Boruto is like gonna be insane. Apparently, everyone says it's really good. So excited.
Well,
I'll watch Jujutsu Kaisen after.
Apparently,
D&D
we
with you.
finally get mainline story progression.
Dylan,
Oh my god, it's happening.
we have some news we have to share with you because I didn't get to upload the VOD yet. You have to watch the VOD because we may have almost made an oopsie last week.
Oopsie.
Oh, it wasn't
as you
easy.
know, we called you and there was a tie, and we revoted, and you wanted Idly Pride gone, Jackman wanted Idly Pride gone, No,
Jackman
Jackman.
wanted
Jackman, you
Heavens,
you
I
went
think.
Heavens.
I went
right?
Heavens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only voted Heavens.
Dodge wanted Idly Pride gone, so it was 2 to Idly Pride. Jackman was Heaven's design team, and I don't like when Michael's impartial, so I voted Heaven's design team so that Michael would have the deciding vote, to which he chose...
No,
To
no,
abstain.
Sean,
No.
no,
It was
Sean,
the other
you
way around.
chose
You
both.
chose
Did
two.
I?
You chose
I
both.
chose both.
both.
Oh yeah, I chose both, so that Michael
was
could
tied.
Michael could either tie it or he could just choose to kill Idly Pride. Michael chose to tie it, so we went to the wheel last week.
Oh, I thought you recounted.
We did.
did. That
And
was
then
the
the
recount.
recount tied again.
They made us go to the wheel anyways
Sean
because they're
allowed
so
it to
bitter.
tie because he's Sean.
Sean voted twice.
So Dylan,
Oh.
there was a 50-50 chance that you would have had to have watched Idly Pride this week.
Oh shit! I thought it was just gone. Oops, I didn't watch it.
It
No,
went
you're
to the
good.
wheel.
You're good. We got
Well,
rid of it.
You
We did
messaged
get rid of
me
it. We did get
about
rid of
it
Idly
and saying
Pride.
that
Yeah, I
Idly won.
messaged you yesterday because I was like, I haven't told him yet, and I don't want him to watch it because that's unfortunate.
Yeah, no,
Good time.
I actually thought it was gone already, so that's good.
Yeah. So let's talk this week. 2.43. It's Tommy's show. It's still here. How do we feel about 2.43 this week? We got volleyball.
It sucked, dude. Oh my god. Okay. So I was like, okay, we're finally gonna get volleyball. We're finally getting volleyball. It took 7 episodes. We're finally getting some fucking volleyball, and then it looked like absolute shit for half of the game. Like when that show looks good, it looks really good. But like the generic animation feels the exact like it felt like the exact same like first 4 points were scored, and then like, oh right, we have an animation budget, and then like started going in hot with the characters, you know, and the hard hitting like impact focused like animation. But I don't know, like I was not a fan of this episode. I think it's good that they played volleyball finally, but like I
We
just
only did it for like a third of the episode.
exactly, and then they just drama, and it's like, I think you should step down for the tournament because you're short. And it's like, well, just get him a step stool. Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't.
Get him a step stool.
I mean, he is doing it. The
I
after
was
credits
like-
scene showed us that the captain is gonna sit out for the qualifiers.
We waited 7 episodes for them to play volleyball just for me to get disappointed by them playing volleyball.
I do agree with Dodge that this show just needs to pick what it fucking wants. Does it want volleyball? Does it want drama? Because it clearly can't do both.
Yeah,
That's really it though. Like I don't know. For me,
I want it to change, and I have hope that it will pick a side, but I don't know.
Here's my problem with 2.43. It's decided it wants to go, I think, more the drama route than the volleyball route, which is fine. It could do that. Except I think its writing's hot garbage and trash. I don't think any of the dialogue between our two main characters when they are together at the end of this episode, 1, makes a lick of fucking sense, and 2, feels like it does anything productive ever. The two of them feel like they go, no you, no you, no you, for 5 minutes, and then they go, wait, why did we do that again? Oh well, and it just... This writing kills me. I finished this episode and went, oh god, I hate this show because I think its writing's a piece of shit. I think Back Arrow has better writing, simply because I think Back Arrow is
Okay.
intentionally bad. Like,
Okay, I will
it
say
knows
let's
what it's
not
doing.
go that far. Let's calm
Let's get
down
our
a bit
back arrow
here.
opinions when back arrow
Sean,
comes
let's
up.
calm down a bit here.
no, I will
It's a
say,
great show. How are
I
you
will
talking
say,
about?
I'm pretty sure Jujutsu Kaisen this week talks about conviction.
I heard
think
that
it did,
word
actually.
Jujutsu Kaisen, and I cringed for a minute, and I was like, oh
And the
no.
only thing I could think about was the horrible direction we've gone, which is, oh no, you know what it was, Dodge? It was the Nintendo Direct when they were talking about triangle strategy. They used
yeah,
the
that
word
too.
conviction like
They
7
used
times, and I was
conviction.
like, it's just Back Arrow the video game, baby.
I will hurt you. Do not ruin triangle strategy for me.
I think it only makes it better, so I clear separate opinions. Michael, thoughts on 2.43?
I mean, I don't hate the show. I think it's a fine time. I don't think it's amazing. I thought the volleyball was fine. Again, the show isn't a haiku, but I mean, I enjoyed the drama stuff, at least most of it. I can get the main characters when they interact is kind of just running in circles for 17 years because they don't know how to interact with each other. I don't know. I don't hate the show. I think there are worse shows.
I agree, but
Speak,
I
Pablo.
Okay, so it seems like I haven't watched the show, but it seems like it's pretty agreed upon that Haikyuu is like just this show, but infinitely better.
oh, yeah,
Like,
for sure.
if we could just like fuck this show for a second. If we could if you what's that show about? Like, is that literally just the same thing as this same
Haikyuu?
high school, but
Hai-
better? Like, is there
Haiku's
drama?
Have you seen?
Are there like superpowers?
No. Have you seen like other like sports anime,
No.
Pablo?
It's volleyball, but
Well, I
like
watched that
That's not
baseball
true.
one.
He's watched Cinderella 9v
I
fight.
watched Cinderella 9. That was hype. That was hype as
Oh,
fuck.
it's hype.
They were like,
It's hype.
Oh, fucking
So
double
Dylan-
play.
So Dylan, so one, imagine this show, but every single soundtrack behind every scene is fucking incredible. Haiku's music builds the show up immensely. It's one of the best.
You
parts
would
of
like
it.
Haikyuu way more than this because it's
Oh, yeah.
not a drama.
So
It's a sports
Haikyuu
anime.
is not a drama.
Haiku follows two particular characters: a middle blocker and a setter. The setter is a cocky, arrogant asshole, but who's really, really fucking good. Sound
And
familiar?
he's trying to become better.
And he's trying to become better. Yeah. And then the middle blocker is incredibly short, but has a huge amount of stamina and jumps really high. So the two of them are so dumb that they can hit ridiculous maneuvers super quick. And that's like the thing that makes them really good. And the idea is they are first years, and their upperclassmen go, shit, we can use that. And the idea behind Haikyuu is that the team they're on used to be like a national level
The
team.
best team.
And
Yeah.
then like dipped. So
They fell.
it's like it's the underdog
Rebuild.
rebuild
Yeah.
story, but every single character gets flushed out. Like
Yes.
and that includes like they do what this show's trying to do with the rival team, except like after you've been introduced to the rival team and you go, okay, I understand where these guys are coming from. There is almost never a time in Haiku where you go, man, I really do wish this rival team would win though, because they're such a better cast of characters than the main team, which is how I feel watching 2.43.
I don't know, man. Nekuma's pretty good.
We don't.
But yeah, you would really like Haikyuu. I
So it
feel like.
seems like you just look at what Haikyuu is doing and like, how do you fuck up a volleyball show?
Well, the thing is, I think because Haikyuu is really successful in its own way, I think they're trying to make the show not Haikyuu. I said this before, but like they want it to lean more towards the drama side of a sports team, I guess.
Then
But
don't have all the characters in
Yeah.
the drama play on the team. Like, maybe have one of the characters play on the team and he's got his own issues, but like make the drama focused outside of volleyball. Like, if you set it too much, I understand the show's called volleyball, but if you set all the drama around volleyball, it like you can't have the drama without the volleyball. Then you have to have both, and then it sucks. I don't know. I'm random. That's my fucking opinion.
Haikyuu takes a much larger focus on the volleyball aspect, and then basically everyone's like drama is kind of just more of, why do you play volleyball?
it's
Why-
about the volleyball.
Yeah,
the
it's
drama.
like everyone's drama is like, I'm struggling to get past this issue I have in a game, and then they spend time, not necessarily in a singular episode, sometimes spaced throughout the season, where you go, by the end of the season, you'll go, oh shit, that character's actually come from somewhere that they were trying to get better at. They've made progress. This feels good.
And it's training. Like
Yeah.
it's a sports anime. Haikyuu is a sports anime. They do like training arcs and
This is
Stuff
a
like-
PS,
like
this is a
training
PSA
camps
to watch
and-
Haikyuu if you haven't watched
Yeah.
Haikyuu.
it's good.
We ready to move on?
Yep.
Let's talk Back Arrow.
Yeah.
I want to give
Yeah.
Back Arrow credit. I think this is Back Arrow's best episode.
Can't agree.
Stuff happens.
We got names.
Yo, Dylan, you missed last week with bruh.
Oh,
The
shut
one
up.
brother's name was Bruh.
Yeah, what
no,
the
we-
hell?
Last
Bruh.
week's episode was definitely a brother.
I didn't like that.
I mean, this week we get introduced to the other kingdom, and we get introduced to their top general, and she has a flying mech as opposed to all the jumping mechs.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's Back Arrow. I actually am intrigued with the fact that we're splitting Back Arrow from the rest of the party. It's a decision to make.
I mean, they're all fucking stupid. Like, we can agree with this. Like, these guys all act smart in their fucking cool ass little outfits and little mechy toys they run around with. But they're some of the dumbest fucking people we can agree on that have ever walked in anime.
If
Um,
if I had a mech, there's no way I would fucking.
I
do
would
some
just
of
use the
dumb
mech
shit.
to jump around. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could get to that wall in 3 fucking days if I got on my flying mech and just zoomed out there. Like, why has no one done that? The chick literally can fly, and she's just like, no, I can't go over there.
What if
Like,
we
and
bring
could she fly
everybody?
over it?
What if
Could
we
she
bring?
fly over the
I
wall?
don't know how high the
Could
wall
she
is.
not
No
fly
one
over the
tried.
wall? Well, Sean, you could fly over stuff. Like, I don't know. That was
Maybe
the entire time I was
goes in-
thinking.
Maybe the wall
Hey,
goes into
if your
space.
convention convection says that you
Okay.
can fly over the wall, then you can fly over the wall.
What if my
I wanna
conviction is I break all walls? Like,
I'm a
wall
I
breaker.
think Dodge has an
My
actual
conviction is
point that
destroy
isn't
the
a
wall.
meme.
I have an actual very important point about this episode of Back Arrow. So like the whole concept was like, oh, you can't attack me because I haven't landed on the territory, right? But she landed on top of the big ship, and which was connected to the ground at the time. So she did fucking land in the territory. So she was breaking the treaty.
Were they not elevated at that point yet? 'Cause
I think
eventually
by
they
the
can
time they
elevate
They were still
themselves a
attached
bit.
to the ground.
Okay.
After that happened, then he blew it up and they elevated again.
So you're telling me by the transitive property, she was in fact
She
touching their
did
land.
in fact land. Therefore, she broke the treaty herself.
No, she was touching the Grand Edger, which is its own colony. Therefore,
No,
which was
Dodge
invading the
Dodge
territory.
is arguing the transitive property because the Grand Edger was touching
Was on the ground.
was touching Rekka territory, and she's on the Grand Edger. She is then
She has landed in
property
Rekka territory because
triangles,
she has
baby.
landed on top of that. Triangle strategy.
That's a massive flaw with the show, guys.
No,
Which
Still
sucks.
not voting.
That's
at all.
literally
I hate
no,
this
no,
show.
no.
It's
That's
so
literally
dumb.
that's literally like the teacher going like, don't take a step out of the classroom, and you're sitting there at the fucking door like with like your foot
Your
half
legs
over
over the
line.
class. Like, yeah.
Like,
That's
like,
literally what
look at
happened
it.
here.
like I'm not on your territory. I'm not gonna start all that fucking Empire War. 'cause
Does
I'm
that
not
mean if she shoots a
technically-
missile from like the sky? It's
I'm
like,
not
well, we
technically
didn't invade your
there.
territory.
it's like
so
the
you can't fight
DMZ.
back.
Sometimes people cross it, sometimes people don't. You know.
The point of it is like, why can't she fly over the big wall? Like, what is the problem with that? If she's the only flying mech, just
because
fucking,
that breaks the plot of the show.
Like,
has no
I-
conviction
well, then
to do
don't
it.
make a flying mech.
Yeah,
has
so
no
does the main
conviction to do
character.
it.
This guy's conviction is I can cut anything, and then goes bloop. Like,
But how do you cut
Like,
something
it
that
was
has
cut-
no conviction?
So, like,
Yeah.
hear me out. So, like,
You
here's
can't
the
cut a
wall.
conviction
right?
if it doesn't
what is
exist.
conviction?
Here's
But
the
that's
wall.
you're thinking too
What is,
deep, Dodge.
what is my
You just-
conviction?
You just go over it.
Fuck this
like,
show.
Dylan, but she has no reason to go over it. Her conviction
Okay,
is
okay,
like,
how
I
about
must
going
protect
over
my
it? What about
princess
going-
properly.
so,
Why would she protect
here's
the
the
princess
wall.
by going over the wall? It doesn't make any
Take the
sense.
princess with you.
Here's
True,
the wall.
you could
Instead
do
of going
that.
over, why don't you go
That's probably where the
under
show's
the
gonna
wall?
go. They're probably gonna have the princess escape. Ooh, under the wall's a good idea.
You could just go under it.
But like, what if the
Someone's
wall
conviction just
extends
gotta
down
be,
to
I
the
like
core
to
of the
dig.
Earth?
What if it
or the
doesn't?
planet?
Okay, hear me out. Simone from Gurren Lagann, his conviction is just that he wants to dig. So he
Yeah.
could get under this wall.
Yeah,
No, his conviction is that he has the drill that will pierce the galaxy and the multiverse.
Okay, but isn't the wall just the galaxy in this scenario? So
Okay,
he could
okay,
pierce
okay.
the
Let's
wall.
Yeah.
let's not bring
He
let's
will-
not bring
he's
good
gonna go
animes
to
into
heaven.
bad animes. All right, come on.
Whoa, I know. Let's
Thank
not bring
you,
Back
Jackman.
Arrow into other anime.
Yeah, Back Arrow is too high of a caliber to talk about with
Yeah.
other anime, which is why we're just gonna move right past it. I don't think we have anything to discuss with Back Arrow. It's probably not going this week. But we're good. Heaven's Design
Yeah.
Team this week.
Yeah,
that's all
2
I have to say.
episodes.
Are
were
you starting to
somewhat
fucking
good.
hate it too? Thank God.
I hate the show.
I hate it too.
The
I'd ra-
xenomorph, the hot dog, 2 best scenes. That's it.
I'd rather learn
Fucking hot
about
dog.
rather learn
Oh.
about animals than watch a mech bang into a wall for 20 minutes.
I would
Okay.
rather watch an animal documentary on fucking Animal Planet than watch this.
It's basically what you're
I'd
watching.
rather
I don't-
watch zebras fucking.
Yes.
I'd rather watch Horimiya fucking.
Here's the difference between you and I. I would rather watch
Too
Back
soon.
Arrow than this.
Why?
Because
Wait, Back Arrow's good.
I get to have conversations like we just had about Back Arrow every week, as opposed to Heaven's Design Team where we all go, "This is shitty. Let's move on."
Wait, I legitimately think Back Arrow's
funny.
good though. Like I'm not even fucking around.
It's a mech show. Every mech
It's
show's
actually
good.
enjoyable to watch. Like I actually I turn on my computer. I'm like, yes, Back Arrow's out today.
yeah,
Like,
I'm like,
let's
yes,
go.
Back Arrow time.
Like I don't do that for like any other animes. Like it's literally my number 2 right now.
Oh yeah, it beats Jujutsu Kaisen out of the water for sure.
It should have
Yeah.
been Anime of the Year. It will be Anime of the Year next year, baby.
If it's enjoyable to watch, hey, fuck
My
it. Why not?
best fantasy, Back Arrow.
Oh yeah, it'll be the only fantasy show, so it'll win.
And I'm like, oh, I gotta watch Heaven's Design Team. Oh yeah. All right.
Gotta turn down my brain a little bit. Gotta go back to kindergarten.
All I have to do is like put on a second monitor and just like play a game and just like look over like, oh, they're building the fucking horse again. Like, oh, cool.
Okay, I will say I enjoyed the fact that they were making an alien and it turned it out to be the correct thing. I thought that was real neat, but that was about it. And then the owl.
I like the owl.
Hey,
Owl's
owls
cool.
are my second favorite animal, so it got points for that, but that's not enough because, like I said, it skipped showing me the construction of the wolf. This show was a lost cause from that moment on.
It's just a puppy dog.
Do we got anything else to say about Heaven's Design Team? We just
No!
got this one.
I'm gonna murder this show. I hate
I
this
like it.
show.
I still like it.
Hey, Doc.
All right, good
All right,
show.
All right.
I don't know if we
All
really
right.
need to discuss this, but Josh says he has points he wants to make. So.
All right. We have some important points. We went from oh, they're cute to oh, they're dating, oh, they're kissing, and now we're at the point where it's like, oh, they fucking, like, it was good.
Bro.
This episode was good, dude.
This
Does
man,
the show miss for like any minute? Like,
this man fucked in a parent's house with both the parents and brother in the
Hey.
same house.
Hey, they could have joined. Who knows?
dude, shout outs to like the show actually having real emotional scenes too, where it's like it's like the little brother who's like, don't take away my sister, and it's like, okay, but like I won't.
Yeah.
But, like, can I have
That was my
Kyoko?
favorite. Probably one
Can
of my
I
I was
stick
like,
my dick in
I
her
was like,
mouth?
I was like, oh, you can't do that.
I'm also really curious on who the purple haired dude's gonna take.
Yeah, that love triangle's gonna
Yeah.
be interesting.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Dude, listen,
he's
listen,
ready to get into a little fucking octagon at this rate, baby.
Listen, Miyamura wasn't gonna take his sister. But he was gonna take his sister's virginity.
Dude.
Miyamura was like, I can have her first name, right? And he's like, yeah. And Miyamura was like, I also took her first time.
But by the way, she's gonna get my last name.
Yeah, I'm also gonna take your last.
But no, like this episode was really weird because it like jumped from like moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. Like, there was like 5 or 6 different like entire like stories going on in this episode.
It was a lot.
Like there's
one of the
Toru.
things. Again, I'm dumb, so a lot of it flies past me. So like a lot of it was like, oh, where the fuck are we now? Like it takes me a minute, but I do think that this show really excels at like. It's like I literally like it's so simple of like actually like continuously fleshing out characters, but leaving them at a point where something's always resolved, and it's not like, oh, that was just random. Like they build up a little bit of character and they accomplish something, then they go to something else. They build up a little bit, they accomplish something, or they realize something, right? They recognize something that they have to do, and the next scene, next episode, you're like, oh shit, I forgot that was happening. Now they're actually doing it. Like, oh, there's actually a resolution to it. It's nice when things make sense, I feel like. And I think that's what this show does best. Like they actually like wrote out these plot lines and then went like, okay, we can put this part of it in this episode, so it feels like it's a real world.
You realize that every character is a main character of their own story, right? Like,
Okay,
everyone views themselves as a protagonist,
JoJo
right?
Part 5, or yeah.
This is Durarara, but
I
as a
also
rom-com.
I think one of my favorite things that this anime does is when they have like their little like 2 like alone time together and they say something like cute and like they both blush and then like the scene kind of like fades into like a white space,
the gray screen, yeah.
and then it has their colors and it's kind of like they're in like their world where it's like it's just them and like nothing else really matters. I think that's really cool. I just like the show. I rewatched the last 3 episodes and I missed a whole bunch of things. I was like, oh, shit is happening.
The show's soundtrack's
Like it.
also really good. There's like a particular track in that I think of that's like really good, and it's usually the one when like they have the 10 scenes that they play, and that track's really good. You know,
I agree.
That was good.
I think this episode's really good, and I think the end. I'm really glad how
It'd be
this
cool to
end
see what
arc
happens.
happened, because I thought they've kind of built Hori to be this character where I really thought she was gonna flip on Miyamura for not responding to her for 5 days. Also because I've been in those situations where something like that's happened and I've not been able to respond to someone long enough and they flipped on me in bad relationships. Really, really glad that this was just a nice emotional, like, I'm glad you're back kind of scene, and not like, God, you're the worst human being on the planet. What happened? Like, why weren't you like? They handled this incredibly well. That makes me not hate Hori's character. So I'm really glad about that.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for a scene where she asks him to ear pierce her ears. That's what I'm waiting for.
I don't
They
think
get like matching earrings that like are
Yeah.
two halves of a heart and they go together or
No,
something.
maybe not. No.
I want to see them. I want to see Hori meet Miyamura's family.
That's you.
hasn't
Yeah.
happened yet.
Yeah.
I'm
I want her to
impressed
go to
they haven't
his
gotten there
house.
yet. They've already fucked, but she hasn't met his
Like-
parents.
We talk
They're
about
skipping a couple steps.
well, he did say she has been over to his house a couple times, so probably has,
Not
but
often though.
but not often. But also, like, we have so many like side like kind of things going on now in this show that like it's starting to like hard to keep track of. Like we have Shu making his like weekly 5-second appearance as
Yeah,
the
it's
green haired
amazing.
guy.
That's all he's ever gonna
Always like
do.
my favorite bits of the episode is just Shu walking in, saying like 2 dumb one-liners and then leaving.
Yeah,
It's so good. It's so good. And then we have I always forget her name.
saw that
The
second
blonde haired
year.
friend. Like
Whoa.
I can't remember her name.
yeah, I always forget her name, but like the one who's now with in the love triangle with Toru and green haired Sakura-chan. With the cookies. That scene was really good. Like the brother scene was good. And any interaction like they have with each other, and like the whole being on vacation away thing, like that's tough. That's fucking tough. Like the whole line where it's like I never knew how long 5 days could be.
I was thinking
Like-
about using that as the screenshot for this week.
That was
but I
that was
decided
really good.
otherwise.
This
What
show has
was-
so many good one-liners.
What was up with his entire family wearing black?
We assumed watching it together.
Could've been a
Mike and I
funeral.
assumed it was a funeral, which is why I was really worried about Hori flipping
Yeah.
on him about it. Like I really thought we were gonna have that like, why didn't you respond? And like, well, someone in my family died, and then it's like, oh, I'm a terrible person. But again, we avoided that pretty sternly.
Yeah,
so
Like, have we seen his
It
dad?
felt so hard, like we were going into the jealousy bit, you know, or like the crazy girlfriend bit.
I think
again,
they're
but
over that though. I think after
she's just scared.
the book
like-
throw, like I think she's over that.
I think she's just scared of losing him. That's what it comes down to. Like, she's really scared of losing this relationship with this one person that she's finally had and feels like this is just her person, right? And they just understand each other. Like, losing someone that's close to you, that's like that is terrifying. Like, if you ever had that happen, like, and it sucks. Like, if you've experienced like slowly growing apart from people, like when you realize it. And so, I think this episode's really good. That's all I want to say. Like,
yeah, this is a really.
so,
this is
it's still really good.
probably-
The show's still number one.
This is
Like,
probably either the best or tied for best episode this week for me.
I think it's the clear number one.
Back
for
Arrows
me.
was really good. I don't know.
Yeah, Batgirl's kind of nuts. Like,
I know my personal favorite episode of the week's gonna be a hot take, but that's we'll get there
what
when we
else?
get
Oh, I
there.
know
was-
exactly what Sean's favorite is, and it's
Yeah,
it's a good episode.
Let's talk
I'm
Komodo
good.
Jihin. Jackman?
Be likey. I like I said, I'm gonna keep saying the same thing. I even though we didn't really get that much of a fight scene, I was excited to see one spider dude to get out of his sphere. Thought that was pretty cool. And we got to see the main character dude fucking rip off this fucking mosquito's arms, which was pretty cool. His hair changed colors, and I think he got more of a grasp on his power, which was pretty cool.
Michael and
Yeah,
I
just-
share an opinion
I
about
enjoyed
this
it.
episode, and I'm gonna let him talk about it because I know he's a lot more passionate than I am about
Yep.
it.
Okay, so yeah, my problem with the show as a whole is that it feels like it's just. I mean, my biggest problem is that Akira is the most poorly written character of all time, and every time Akira tries to do something, they bullshit their way out of Akira being able to do something. Akira in this episode goes to use his ice powers to freeze the mosquito, and then Akira goes, "Oh no, there's no water here for me to freeze." Okay, but hear me out. Hear me out. One, the mosquito lady would have had water in her because, you know, she's a living thing. And two, you want to know the thing we established 5 minutes before that Shiki covered the entire area with sweat? Want to know what sweat's made out of 90% of it? Water.
Stank.
It's salt water though, technically.
Yeah, but
and-
Still water.
high
Salt
enough
water
freezing.
can't really freeze very well.
If you make it cold enough, you can.
She also doesn't have very much training yet over her powers.
I
But,
think they
like,
just scapegoated to make it
It
main
was a
character
scapegoat
time.
to make Akira
I-
not be able to do anything.
see-
It was just really poorly done, that scene.
I would be fine with them doing this so long as they gave me a grounded reason why. There isn't anything. I even would have been fine if it was Akira tries to freeze them and fails, but it wasn't even that. It was literally goes to freeze. I just can't do it. Why would I try? It's not physically possible. Like, there is no character growth from that. And then at the end of the episode, when they get back to the fucking vampire, he's like, I'm doing this to make you all stronger. Can't you tell how much stronger you've become? And Akira's like, yeah. And it's like, no, not you. Not you. It is frustrating because I think they're developing this cast decently well, and I think the underlying issue of family they all have going on is going to be good. It just that's the part of this episode that sucks for me.
Yeah.
I'd agree. I do feel like she's kind of lagging behind in terms of like what's going on. I like the spider fucking dude though.
Yeah, this is probably his most compelling episode.
It's my favorite character. I don't know. I do feel like she's lagging behind. It's almost like not to like compare it to a show, but it's literally just kind of like a Naruto kind of thing, like the trio of like she's not getting the development, and that's okay. I don't give a fuck about that
Akira's
character.
literally the Sakura of this trio.
The Sakura
That's how I
treatment.
see it. Like
Except,
they're
like,
both
even
doing their thing.
Even Sakura early on, as I had this argument earlier, does have some moments where she, like, at least it's described to be more competent at, like, chakra control than the rest of the group, and, like, we see that from her finishing training earlier, and it at least builds into her being a solid healer and actually being able to punch things super hard. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's not,
Well,
like, the
pause,
rest of the characters
pause.
mishandled terribly, but...
Pause. You need to pause. Yeah, after 300 episodes, Sean.
No. This is what my point is, and this is my Sakura take, is that I don't think Sakura's a bad character. I think she's a poorly written character because I think Naruto's author doesn't know how to fucking write a good female character for his life.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's
Whoa,
some good
what about
female characters
Hinata?
in Boruto.
If you hit,
Why?
well,
I don't like
I'm
I
not,
will agree
I'm
that
not far
Naruto is
enough.
bad.
I'm not far enough in Boruto to like have good opinions on the female cast yet. But in my opinion, if you think of good female
I guess
characters,
Sarda's fine from what I've seen.
and
but...
it takes you to like the 30-second one introduced to hit the good female character, yikes.
But the point that I was
Apology.
referencing with that is that, you know, it's going to take obviously time for that character to have their moment.
Hopefully.
I just don't think she was the main focus of like that thing.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, oh, you're all getting stronger, but like I don't feel like it should be focused on each character at the same time. I feel like it's okay to like drop one behind now to bring them up later. If they don't bring them up later, then that's a different story, right? But that's
Yes.
how I saw it.
I'll agree with that because it felt like this was the Spider Dude's episode. The
Yeah.
last one was the ice thing.
Dude,
Akira's just a guy.
Yeah.
Kira is a guy.
Oh,
And
yeah, my bad.
I feel like it's just, and you always have the underlining of the main characters like always going to be part of these episodes. Kind of slowly growing, realizing that
Yeah.
this is his family. Kind of, he doesn't want to lose them. So on. Building that character up as well. But I think we might see like a character episode, kind of every episode, maybe, where we will eventually get more fights where all three of them have to fucking do shit, and
Yeah.
same with the Fox lady, and their scenes are always cute as well.
I do enjoy this. I do enjoy Khan as a character. I think she. I think so long as she has good development later, this will be fine. It's like she's like a breath
adorable.
of like she's a breath of like, hey, this is kind of cute. And I also like it because it makes Kabane have like human interactions where he feels bad about doing things wrong, which is nice for him. They're also clearly setting up something with the Kitsune.
Oh yeah, and then we got introduced to the new dude as well,
Yeah.
who doesn't like the police lady.
So he says.
So he says, yeah.
We'll see about that. I don't really trust any word that came out of that kid's mouth. I mean, look at that bowl cut.
Yeah.
Can't trust a man with a bowl cut.
Whoa. Fair.
Josh, I know you're not the biggest fan of Kimono Jihen. How did
I
you
thought
feel
this
about
episode was
this one?
fine. It was good. It those mosquitoes make me uncomfortable, but that's fine.
Pog. Yeah, I'm not gonna
supposed
look
to
at
be
mosquitoes
there.
ever again, man. Fuck
I don't-
mosquitoes.
I mean, it's true that like they have like a thing in their saliva that makes it so you don't feel pain when they poke you to suck out your blood.
Mosquito
That
goes
actually,
snap.
that actually is
That's
a
why
big one.
the only time
Dude,
you feel
mosquitoes are.
mosquitoes when
Dude,
they're pulling
listen.
out.
As a medical professional, mosquitoes are fucking terrifying. Like because they can pass so much communicable diseases. But like, but yeah, main character is gonna be OP.
Do we have a scientific reason
That's
why
the show.
we should still have mosquitoes alive? Can we just
She wants-
abolish mosquitoes?
I mean,
Do they do anything good
It's-
for the?
the
Do they
ecosystem.
do anything good for the ecosystem?
They feed frogs.
Do they? Don't a bunch of
Frogs
other
feed birds.
Don't a bunch of other things feed frogs? Like if we just got rid of mosquitoes, is that like gonna kill the frog ecosystem? If only Heaven's
Yeah.
design team touched upon these very serious topics ever.
Just
Maybe
go
it'd be
watch
interesting.
Animal Planet. Fuck that stupid anime.
Anime planet.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's talk other side. I say this every week, and I'm a broken record at this point. I love the tone of this show. This episode has 2 female characters in bikinis for 90% of it, and not at a single point does it really feel like a horny episode, and like the horror thriller tension's kind of still there the whole time, in my opinion.
You're just not horny enough. Sorry,
Maybe.
Like it never seems to sexualize the two of them. Like
Yeah,
yes, there's
no,
the horny
definitely.
moment
Yeah, yeah,
between the two of them when
Well,
the one's naked
they
in the
wake
bed,
up
but-
and they've slept together, but I mean,
And they fucking.
Hey.
Whoa,
maybe.
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 You know, sometimes you put the pillows between. You know, you don't really
sometimes-
know.
Sometimes you slap a couple scissors together. Yeah, I get
So
it.
this episode had a moment that literally punched me in the gut and went, God, I'm a fucking idiot. Because like the only thing consistently this show has done is use the color blue to signify danger, and I didn't know it until this episode fucking spelled it out for me. Like episode
Yeah.
1 of this show, she literally goes, "Blue's bad. When you see things go blue, bad things happen." And then every episode since, the color blue's been there to signify bad, and I have never realized it until this episode, when they told me.
Now it's almost like she has a reason to wear a contact.
It's back.
Is her eyes
baby.
blue?
It's back.
Oh my fucking god, that shit tilted the fuck out of me, dude.
You got tilted.
I mean, I think this is a really good episode for other side. Again, I think it lacks a central thing it's doing. There's like the woman at the end of the episode, which I can't tell if it's supposed to be this thing that had the hat from the first one, or if it's supposed to be the friend that Toriko's
Yeah.
looking for.
So,
It's
like-
very unclear.
If I could completely just shit on the show from that exact description, Sean, you literally tried to describe what it was, but you had no fucking clue because there's literally no hints as to what it is.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's there.
But that's
could
the
be.
point.
14 things. I don't like that.
It's really 2 things. It's either the
It-
person whose hat they took, and it's like you've used my hat, goodbye. Or it's, this is a sign that there's something in relation to her friend that they're looking for. It's one of those 2 things.
I feel like it's just so aimless. I just feel like they don't know what they're doing because there is nothing to know. I
But
get that's
the
the
idea
fucking
isn't-
show.
The point is that we don't know anything. This is a show that doesn't. A lot of shows play on the idea of dramatic irony, where we know something and the characters don't, and we're waiting for them to learn this thing that we know. We know nothing. We know exactly as
and
much
neither
as they do.
That's. I was gonna bring up that same point. I like the show because I know nothing as well as these characters.
But the characters experience it, and it makes sense when they experience the thing, and they explain it in a way that works for them, so it works for me in my brain. They're
I
like,
just wish I knew
oh,
what the
these are
fuck
fake
was
monster trash
happening
people.
at
But like,
any
I feel like
point,
that's not.
dude.
I feel like you can do this without dramatic irony though, because you can use like, oh, I can remember things from like perfect example. Like I'm playing fucking D&D. Like I can pull plot points from like that I played in a session like 4 weeks ago or something like that, and realize that like, oh, this could be this, or like and like pursue it. But like when you're watching the show, it's like all this stuff's happening, and then like there's always just a random like thing, and it's just like. There's no hints as to what this
Yeah.
possibly could be in and out of character. So like I just feel like it's stupid.
I mean, I can definitely agree with you there. There hasn't been like a lot of like that's why I liked in particular this episode's scene of like blues is a signifying thing of danger, because it's always been there. I just forgot about that one in episode 1. So like my brain went, finally there's something that I think the show's done well, and it's used color as a signifier of something bad in the show. Like in the same way it was the only reason why like last week's episode I was like, cool, the hat got them, or 2 weeks ago, the hat got them into this situation. It's nice to bring back the fact they have the hat. But like they don't do enough of the things we've seen previously matter to the things we see now. Everything definitely is too isolated from each other. I'll definitely like I agree with you in that, Dylan. Like constructing a story that has like mystery and like supposed to be suspenseful, you can do it better than what other side's doing. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like playing Clue, and just randomly they're just like, here, you have to take this, and it's like, what do I do with this?
I just can't tell if the show's supposed to be like serious or like Scooby Doo, and I like, it's like I can't
now I like
tell
the show a
the
lot.
fucking difference. Like, I don't like that. It just like it jumps from like happy-go-lucky fun time beach time to like shooting the shit out of people in like 12. It's like, would you shoot somebody? I don't know. Oh look, people. Like, it's like
I think what the show is missing is like
come on.
1 or 2 plot points that will just tie everything together, and we're just going like, oh fuck, you know?
They brought back the selling plot point this episode that we haven't
They did.
cared about for the whole thing, and the whole point was, shit, we got nothing to sell. We're fucking broke because we've only bought beer this weekend.
Yeah,
What a
I think once again, broken record. I think it's close to being good. It's just missing a few things that maybe will come out, or
You
it
said
just isn't.
Jackman.
You said
Yeah.
you said another show this week was The Wandering Witch of this podcast. This might be The Wandering
This is
Witch of this
definitely-
podcast.
I
This
have
might-
been saying
yeah,
this since
this
week
100%
1.
is.
This show looks decent, and I have hopes for it. Week 2, never mind. Nope. No. I'm done with it. This is going to lead me on. This is going to be worse than fucking. No, it's not going to be worse than Run a Girlfriend, but it's going to be bad, and I already know this.
What did I say was the other one before? I forgot. Was it? Fuck. Was it volleyball?
The Wandering Witch of this season?
Yeah,
it's,
I said one before you got here, and I completely forgot about this show. It doesn't
I
matter.
don't remember. I don't remember what it was. That tells you how bad it is.
Yeah, it was a bad show.
I can't recall.
I assume it would have to have been Dungeon Boonies, but I don't know.
So
We'll talk about that.
it might have been this. It might have been this.
Maybe it
Who
was
knows?
this. Who knows?
It might have been.
Oh, yeah.
I
It
have
is.
other things I want to shoot before this, unfortunately. Even if I don't think
I
it's
agree.
doing everything it's trying to do well, I do think it has something that I can point to and be like, I like this, and that's the tone for this show. I think that's the one thing it's done really well, is it does make me generally feel uneasy when I'm supposed to feel uneasy. So that's better than some shows that I think are trying to make me feel things and I feel nothing at all.
Back Hero makes me
Agreed.
horny.
That girl makes me depressed.
Truly, we
I
run
might
the full,
be mixing those feelings up.
we run the full gambit of emotions with back air on this podcast. Skate. Jackman, talk about Skate.
I like it. I mean, skating. We got I think a pretty good like character development. I felt like for our main dude, red hair,
Reki.
Reki.
I also
Um,
think we see the most other area skating we've seen in the whole show.
Yeah.
They skate
that-
in
that is
basically
true.
a bunch of different locations.
They have a vert. Yeah, they have a vert skate and street skate.
And to be fair, I
I-
think they
I-
skated in kind of new locations last week too. So this seems, unfortunately, we're going
generally
tournament
think-
arc.
That Reki is like actually feeling bad for himself and is like just wanting to become better. And I don't know if it's just like he's just mental blocking himself, living rent free in his own head, or he just isn't putting in enough effort as in Snow.
You
Dude,
all,
it's not even-
you
Not even
all,
rent free. This man invited him into his house.
you all play League of Legends, so you can all relate to Reki, right?
Oh hell yeah.
What about just running it down, like and sucking?
Being bad and always wanting to be good. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, I really like this episode because I think the emotions Reki feel here are incredibly real. Like, as someone who's been here in different types of hobbies with people, Like, yeah, it fucking sucks to think you're really good at something, and then fucking Dylan swings his big ass cock over when you're playing Smash Bros. And you're second best now.
Yeah, and then I come over and humble his ass immediately. Like, I don't.
Okay, I literally had oil on my hands from cooking. Like, what do you
Yeah,
want from me?
Yep, yeah. Oh man, it was that popcorn that my hand slipped.
No, but
That's
I-
why
Oh
Dodge
yeah, the
beat me with
popcorn. Yeah,
That's
the
why. That's why
popcorn.
Dodge beat me with his fourth character. Oh, unbelievable.
No, I really enjoyed the stuff we get here at Reki. I think it's and like to be fair, I don't think either character is like in the wrong with what they're doing here. Like, because I think it's fair for Longa to want to chase after a feeling of like adrenaline he has and to want to skate. I think this is the best way the show can handle these two's relationship dynamic, because I think if Longa just pushed Reki away by breaking his promise, and it wasn't Reki also pushing Longa away out of like regret and fear for not catching up to him, I think this would be worse for these two characters. Like, I think this is the best way to handle their conflict, is that they're just both drifting apart. We also
Yeah, I
have
think-
like a lot of other shit going on in the background in this show, between like Cherry and Joe and Adam, and then we got this tournament building.
I think this is what the show needed to bring up
yeah.
a point of the characters are completely like outclassed by each other, and what's the solution for Reki to become better in that way? Yeah, I like the change of pace.
I think Ricky just sucks.
I wish it was a more combined effort. I don't know. I just feel like
I wish Ricky's done anything to show me why I should care about him being the main character.
I mean, like, but like that, and also I wish it was like, I don't know. I feel like if you're the one teaching yourself how to do stuff, like, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's possible. And if it is, it's just like totally main character Mary Sue kind of shit, right? Like, I don't.
I think what's gonna happen with the show, my theory, and I think me and Sean kind of talked about this, is that what's gonna happen is that Reki won't be able to get to the level that Longa and Adam are at currently by himself. He's gonna need help from people. He's gonna have he's got his 4 mentor figures that he's already friends with. He's gonna learn how to be real good from Mia. He's gonna learn how to be smart from Cherry Blossom. He's gonna learn how to have confidence from Joe. He's gonna learn how to deal with bullshit
He's gonna
from
learn
Shadow.
how to
I just
cheat
think that's
from
not-
Shadow.
Well, I just think that's just not believable with how they set up the character, though. Like they set him up like he just kind of sucks at everything, and like you can't just be like, oh, you taught me one thing, therefore now I mastered it. Like,
I mean, the idea is that he's gonna probably spend time up until this tournament, which I think is like a month away or
There
something.
needs to be time skips. Like,
he hasn't
needs
shown that
to-
he has any like talent for this at all to a degree, though.
I
So like
Disagree.
that's what kind of bothers me with this. Like he doesn't feel like he should be able to make that jump, even if he gets all the help needed right now, because we haven't seen him do anything.
It feels
successfully.
like he's in the stage of doing this as a hobby, and then Longa comes around. He's like, I want to become a professional at it. Now Reki's like, shit, I really want to become a pro because I love doing this type deal.
Okay.
And he's like in this transition stage where like he doesn't know how he's able to do this, but I definitely think he's able to spend time, learn, especially considering he has the brain to learn how to create things. So I just think he's trying to learn how to put the board building technology and skating together. And I think that's where his mindset is.
Are you guys ready
right
for
now.
my analogy? I have an analogy for this. So this is like say like I'm playing League of Legends, and like I invite my buddy to play who plays Heroes of the Storm to play League of Legends, right? And I'm like plat, and this guy hits like diamond in a month, right? And then like I do just hard stuff. That's what this feels like, right? Where it's just like, okay, he's just better. Like sometimes you just have to accept that. And I feel like this would be better if the main character just took a backseat to that degree.
Well, the idea is that Reki knows he has the ability to possibly get to this. He's just going to take more time because he learned how to do the rail grind after like a week. Yes, Longa learned it. Longa learned something more difficult to do essentially the same job in like a day, but Reki did learn how to rail grind. So like, I don't know. I think Reki has the ability. He just needs to spend more time doing it. He's not as naturally talented as Longa was. He hasn't been snowboarding for 20 years.
I think
He's been skating for 5.
I think where the show decides to take this is the important thing that decides like how well all this has gone. Like I enjoy this because I see an immense amount of potential to tell a good, compelling story with these characters. But like, yeah, they could absolutely marry Sureki, and I don't think I would appreciate it considering Longa's already kind of a Mary Sue. Like he's just good at everything because he's touched a snowboard once. Which is why I like Reki more than I like Longa, because I feel like Reki's actually like he feels like an actual person. And I think if you just I think if this show just went, cool, Reki's taught his friend how to skate and he's just a natural pro at it now, and he has to watch as no one cares about him anymore. Like I think it would suck if he was just like, yeah, that's cool. And we just only focused on manga. I don't think that does anything for the show. I think Reki actually trying to figure out like where to go from here is important. Like I think that makes this more compelling than if you just skipped past it and it was like, yeah, Reki's just here to support Longa now. We're just gonna see all the cool shit Longa does.
I think the scene that made me like see that this is a good episode was the scene where they're both at the skate park and Reki is just like sitting with a Coke in his hand, like facing the wall, and he's just overhearing people saying like, oh, the kid with red hair is just a nobody, don't even like worry about him. He's just a freeloader off of snow and shit like that. Like that shit was like, oh fuck man. That shit just sucks.
Yeah.
And
no one wants
him
to be
just
known as the person who's with
a
someone
friend.
else.
Yeah, the plus one, you know?
Yeah.
Like that shit sucks, and I definitely want to see. After hearing that, I was like, oh, I want Reki to fuck shit up and like become better and put in the time and practice and all that.
The other thing I really liked this episode was when they go back to like the downhill near the road, and he's like, Lena, can you do that thing again where you touch that star off the ramp? And Longa does, and he's like, if you had to, like, if you did it 10 times, how many times would it take you to get that? And like he stops because he's like, well, Longa would just get it every time out of 10. And then we see him track how many times it takes him, and he fails to get it out of 10 attempts. Like yeah, he tries a fucking shit ton and never gets it. Like, and I think a central problem there is, yeah, he's just trying to go straight into what Longa's doing without like perfecting the fact that he probably doesn't have the needed fundamentals to get there. He doesn't have the core strength. He doesn't have fucking half
He needs
the
to develop
skills
his
that he
own
needs.
skateboarding style.
I mean, like, probably, yeah. Like,
Pretty much, yeah.
I think if the show does this
gonna
well,
happen.
there's a reasonable way that Reki isn't gonna be as good as Longa, but can at least like get what he wants out of this, right?
Yeah.
I think he's chasing too much. I think that's
Yeah.
his problem, and I think
No.
that's what he's starting to realize.
I think
That he's chasing too much.
I think what happens is Reki gets training arc. Reki learns his own style. Reki beats what's it called? The last episode they skate together in the finals. Like it's just like that's how it's gonna progress. Is my guess.
Or
Like-
Longa does something stupid and fucking gets fucked up.
He breaks his leg and Reki's got to sub in for him. And
Not even that,
and
just
and then he skates against Adam and beats Adam in the finals.
I still think there's
After he
a
got
lot.
shit stomped by Adam last time.
I still think there's a lot of other things going
I think
on
he
in the
beats Adam
background
that way,
here too. That I think there's a lot of room for this show to do interesting things, because I don't think you set up the Cherry Blossom Joe Adam storyline unless it's going to be important in numerous ways, like how they're going to play into how they're going to play in as mentors to Reki and how they're going to play in as adversaries against Adam. I think is going to be crucial to how Skate's story ends. I think Skate's a solid show. I think it has the potential to be a really great one, depending on how it goes from here. Like, to me, Skate's better than a lot of the other shit we have this season at this point.
probably. I'm just still like on the fence about it because I feel like it's just not.
it's getting better for me.
I don't like Reki. I think it's getting worse for me. I really don't like how they're doing Reki. Like, it feels like this episode he was just kind of complaining for like 20 minutes.
First step is denial.
He's salty. He's like any normal human being. He's salty that someone he's teaching is getting more recognition than he has. He's getting no recognition as the one who taught him everything he knows.
You can't expect
Longa's
recognition
nothing
when you don't
without
do
Reki's
anything
board.
though.
Like,
If
Like-
Longa didn't have Reki to teach him how to skate and teach him and make the board for him, Longa wouldn't be where he is. But no one understands that other than the two of them. And that's the big thing in Reki's head, is he doesn't realize that people don't know that. He just thinks people are ignoring it. And he doesn't like the fact that he's put on the back burner.
I'm not saying the way Reki is feeling is the right way to feel or the proper way to go about handling the situation. But I think it's a really realistic thing that happens to people who get into similar situations like this. That's why I like the way they're handling Reki. And you have all right not to like it. I mean, like, that's the whole point of the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's
Ready to move on.
let's talk Dungeon Boonies. Dylan, I want you to talk to me about Dungeon Boonies.
Why?
You don't have a show to talk about.
Yeah.
You don't have your own shows.
Okay, so the One Punch Man fucking spinoff with but this time all kids. That weirdly
Oops, all
has
kids.
characters that are super attracted to the one kids. I don't know. The show makes me uncomfortable at most
like it.
times with like those moments, but at the same time, like it is a funny show. I'm still not sold by it. I don't know. I liked it a little bit ago. I'm still not sold by it. I feel like it could do better.
I feel like nothing fucking happened this episode besides them taking, I think, the only still compelling character left in this cast and making them adding them to the harem.
Like,
Yeah. I didn't like this episode.
I thought it was funny.
The only
There
like
were
thing
some
about
funny
the show
moments here.
is that it's like slightly funny, but like then you like look at it like in the unfunny moments, it's like, bro, like what is going on? Like, can we stop?
Like
We
the
knock
issue with this
this shit off?
episode is that it's like, oh wow, they're all going to be different places, and then you get the connection where you realize that the king's son is the dude we know who's got like the nobleman knight person that we know, and it's like, oh, haha, he's going to be here too, and then it just slowly devolves into going, oh wow, that's a funny joke for the 8th time this episode where another character just happens to be at this hotel. Wow, that was really funny. When you realize like the 8th character's there, it's like, oh wow, look, Riho's there. Oh look, the Belt Princess is also here. Haha, look at this go.
We know the two sisters are there, we just haven't seen them yet. I'm just waiting for Alka and Marie to somehow manage to show up too.
Yeah, we know they're gonna find a way because the whole idea is that they're just gonna sneak over there.
I think the show's just good for a quick laugh. And it's better than other things that we have. That's my thoughts on the show.
I just think there are other shows that are significantly more funny, and this is supposed to be a comedy show.
What is significantly more funny? Like,
Back Arrow.
Horimiya, Egg, Back Arrow.
how is Back
Back
Arrow
Arrow's
funny
pretty
at
funny.
all?
Because you
You
can
don't-
laugh at it.
It's not so bad. It's good. That's not how that works.
Yes,
It's
that's
just bad.
exactly how it
It's
works.
I
exactly
think
how it
Komodo
works.
Jihen's pretty funny. I think Other Side Picnic's pretty funny.
Like I do laugh
I
at
just
some
don't
of the
see it.
things. I do
Yeah.
laugh at some of the things in this show. Like, don't get me wrong. I do legitimately think the flashlight bit with Belle Princess is actually funny. It got a real ass laugh out of me.
The only thing I thought that was great. The only thing I don't like about this, like, man, every time Belle Prince on the screen, it's like, man, I can't take anything she does seriously because I just know that her real motivation is just horny.
Mhm.
Like, that's the only thing that sucks. Is like, it's so
It's-
close to being like.
It's
actually
the Dragon
okay.
Quest of this season.
No,
no, they left the island.
that's Back
already.
Arrow. That's
Yeah,
Back Arrow,
that's
dude.
true.
They did leave the city. This
It took
isn't
12
Dragon Quest.
episodes for
did
them to reach a wall.
But they got to the wall. That's way better than.
That's great,
That's
and they
more
left the
progress.
island in this. They probably left the island in 7 episodes too. What's your point?
No, they were off by 5. Actually, it was quicker.
Case
But,
in point.
No, but
Yeah.
like I also just think this episode's super predictable. Like I think the humor of this episode really flies out the window as soon as you piece together that exactly what they're going to be doing this whole episode, which is bringing literally the whole entire cast here and then going, "Oh man, Lloyd's so cute." Oh.
Oh wow, Lloyd standing in for the only. I think one of the more. I think the bit where he walks in as the prince was kind of funny because I wasn't expecting that. That's like
did-
the one scene I didn't expect.
Which one?
Probably because it didn't fucking make sense.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they don't.
when they go to bring in the prince or the nobleman's son, and then
Oh,
instead of the
and
nobleman's son coming in, it's look at Lloyd coming in for some reason, filling in as him for the marriage
And then
You,
just
council.
you
dive
don't
up.
know
I-
that he
I wanna
was
say that-
filling
that-
in until after
That vest
after
is-
they talk about it.
That vest is fucking slick though. I want that vest. It's a nice looking vest.
Like, my other problem with this show is that I also don't think its writing's very good. Like, you run into an encounter where like this episode is literally just Lloyd's filling in. Why would the father trust him? After all, the father suspects he's in on the deal to cause these plants to be dangerous to people. Why would he trust Lloyd or use him to fill in? He has no reason to know the connection between Lloyd and Belt Princess to make this the logical choice. Like, the other thing that really bothers me is I've made coffee or tea for Lloyd to get him to drink it, to catch him for him being the one who is causing the problem with these
When
plants.
she's the one causing the
Oh
problem.
no, he doesn't drink it. Oh no, my boss drinks it. He must have figured me out. It's time to jump out the window. This
But he
show
didn't actually
has
figure her out.
this show has too many leaps of logic that like don't make sense for its characters to put their characters in the situations they need to be because they can't write a good reason for them to be there. Like, none of these characters' connections were like... I just really don't enjoy a lot of the surrounding stuff in Dungeon Boonies at this point. Like, it's lost me, and I think the things that are good about it are only there for like 5 seconds every 3 episodes.
Oh, I agree.
We've
See,
started a bunch of
I
plot points
agree,
and somehow we're
But
here.
I agree, but I think at least it has good points. Is my argument for that.
Wow.
I'd rather have some good points that I can enjoy than have just like a bunch of like meh.
I can respect that
For
because that's how
25
I feel
minutes.
about Other Side. So,
That's also how I feel about Other Side. Like I just
but if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick Other Side over this.
Other Side is just so meh. It's just like
I think this is very
I
meh.
don't get it. Yes, but at least this tries to have a story and not just a compilation of a mess.
Okay, give me a second. I have to adjust this quick. There we go. Let me just... Yeah, this is about...
Like at least I can like somewhat follow what's going on in the scenes in this show, but when it comes to fucking Other Side, I have no idea what's going on. When it comes to Backer, I really have no idea what's going
You
on.
can follow what's going on in Dungeon Boonies because Dungeon Boonies is just like it's the
Kid
most
show.
brain dead thing
That's
on the
fu-
planet.
Exactly.
That's like being
Kid
like,
show.
I can follow what Heaven's design team is doing. Sure, it doesn't mean it's fucking any remotely near good enough to stick around after this week.
All right, let's move on to a good show though.
Ooh.
Well, I know Dodge has
Moving on
opinions
to the
about
good
this because he says he does.
I thought this episode was weak.
Well,
I think this
you're weak.
episode. I think this episode. It's going to be the one that my feelings for are gonna entirely depend on where they go with the show, with the stuff
Yeah,
they did this
for
episode.
sure.
Because there's a lot of ways this is good, and a lot of ways this is bad.
So
And there's a lot of I think this episode's biggest thing is that a lot of the conflict and stuff going on here is like internal for Ai. So because we don't always know how she feels or what she thinks, we don't know exactly why she makes some of the decisions she does this episode. And I think that's fine for long term, but for short term may have made this a weaker episode than other ones.
I enjoyed this episode.
I did as well.
I enjoy the characters interacting. I think the way Momoe reacts to being confronted about her uncle is very real. Where she's like, why do you hate him? It feels like you're directly attacking me because that's what you would do in that situation. That's because it's one of your family's being attacked essentially, and you just don't understand why people are doing it. You're like, no, he's a fine person. What do you mean? And it's just like they're just attacking him. That's what it feels like. I think the thing at the end, though it's confusing why I just randomly snaps and goes, okay, I'm gonna go to school now. But we don't need to know that yet. We still have 6 more episodes of a show to learn why that's a thing. Yes, it might be like, oh god, what's happening? Because it wasn't answered yet. But like, it's going to be answered. And same way Jujutsu Kaisen ends its episode this week. Oh, can't say that. It ends it with a thing. It ends it with a cliffhanger like that. Where it's like, oh wow, we're gonna learn a thing. But yeah, forgot Dylan hasn't watched, so I can't say. But yeah,
I just couldn't really follow what like this episode was trying to do with Wonder Egg, because like it has a main character, they're talking about definitely not rapey kind of rapey uncle over here, counselor, who now is like gonna be dating her mom, and like we still don't know what the connection to Koito is. We still don't know what happened exactly. We're still like there's so many things that we still have to figure out, and then they're also adding something else on where it's like she's having this like mental kind of battle with herself here about like going to school now, but like because does she like the counselor? Does she not like the counselor? Does she like I'm I'm so confused what I's like thought process and motivations are here, and it just left me kind of like, which is a big question mark like right here of just like I have no idea what the fuck's going on in this show now. And I
And we are in
really
fact
like
still
this
halfway
show.
through the show.
I really like this show, but I just didn't get this episode, and I was sad. It's still staying, but like
there are a lot of things this episode could be doing, and I'm not entirely sure which ones it's going with because they leave a lot of things open. The egg fight we get this episode for she gets the bracelet that like in the world lets her see like ghosts or like spirits, and that's the thing she runs out of the bathroom and grabs when her mom's like, "Your stuff's out here." And then after she grabs that, she runs to the school. So, like Michael and I were talking, is she running to the school because she thinks having that bracelet will let her talk to Koito? Like, is that why she's going back? Is she going back because she's had some revelation about how she feels about the teacher? Like, we don't know yet.
Also, is this the first time that one of the objects from inside of the place has come out with her?
I don't know if she
I
has the pen.
I think she always has the pen, but I don't know.
Yeah, but she didn't get the ribbon.
That's because she didn't have the ribbon at the end. At the end of that bit, she wasn't holding it. The other person
and
was.
she doesn't hold the glow sticks
The
at
light
the end
either.
of the other one either. Yeah. So this is like the first one she's taken it out with.
Because she was wearing the pearl beads at the end.
I'm just really I'm really interested to see where that goes with that with the bracelet and stuff.
My thoughts on the counselor feelings are that there's a very good chance this is, and I'm throwing something at a wall because I don't have good confirmation this is it, but there's a very possible chance that you're talking about an antisocial girl who's been bullied her whole life, who talks to a counselor who is helping her work past her insecurities by assuring her that, you know, the way she looks, there's nothing wrong with it. She shouldn't be ashamed of her eye, like, and then as you're coming to terms with the fact that he may have something to do with your only and best friend's suicide, that your current group of friends around you goes, but hey, did you ever think that maybe you're upset about him dating your mom because, like, you like him? And then as soon as someone puts that thought into her brain, it can't leave her brain because someone's brought it up. Like, so maybe she doesn't like the counselor, but that idea's been planted there now. So her feelings of having someone who she trusts and who reassured her about herself are being replaced by thoughts that maybe those feelings are love. Like, it's very possible that's what's going on mentally there, but we don't know because we haven't seen that result yet. And I think that's very possible just because I don't think what I's feeling towards the counselor is love, because I think things would have been different throughout this show if that's always been the underlying case. I don't think there's been enough signs of that otherwise.
That's not what I thought, and now I'm super confused.
What do you think, Dylan?
I didn't think it was like that, like convoluted.
Sure,
or
it
deep.
might not be. You know me, Dylan. I take deep dives and I'm usually wrong.
I just realized my room is getting dark because the sun's going down.
They were lining up the holes in their foreheads.
They were lining up the holes in their foreheads. What do you think, Dylan?
I don't think it's that like complicated though. I feel like she's just like you said, like thinking about him not as like love, but just like in her head now. Like that's like, I don't know. You think of like what's the word? You're ignorant. I hate to use that word, but you're ignorant to certain like in an actual like sense of ignorance, not like, you know, saying stupid things, but like in the actual sense of not knowing something. Like you're ignorant to certain things, but then when they're like revealed to you, it becomes in your mind. And like unfortunately this show's all about the fucking mind. So like it's hard to know if that's like, is that forefront and fucking center in her frontal lobe, or is that all the way in the back, deep back, where she doesn't even realize it's a thing? Which is why I don't like it. Watch, I'm more confused because I was just thinking that's just like, oh, she just thinks about that now. I don't think it's like this super enormous issue of like, oh my god, I love him or something.
Well,
I just feel like it's an emotional like thing that they have to deal with. Like it's not an emotion. Does that make sense?
at a base level, that was kind of what I meant. Like that's basically exactly how I feel about this, is why she's going through the stuff she goes through in this episode. I just think there's also a lot of other things that make it more complicated in reality because of what we know about I. Like, I'm also just chalking everything else up about her relationship with him to probably making it why it's such an important focal point of the episode. Because every single cut in this episode to her fight is in relation to that. I think this episode's wonderfully cut from a show animation standpoint.
Oh yeah.
Like every moment in this the scene where she gets knocked through the bathroom wall and then she's cut and then it cuts to her underwater, and then after the fight she's in the bathtub and it's the same water cuts we've been getting the whole episode is insanely fucking good. Like the way
Cloverworks is outstanding, dude.
Yeah.
They've done some good
Also,
work.
this show does a goddamn title drop, and I wasn't expecting that.
I was like, all right, roll the credits.
Yeah,
Okay,
as a fan of
objective
Cinema Sins,
is Wonder.
roll credits.
I don't get
Okay.
why they said Wonder Egg Priority, but like,
They just
I
had to
mean,
explain the title.
it's cool, I guess.
That's their objective.
It's like when you play Assassin's Creed and you play for 10 hours and you finally get to the title screen. But no, I don't know. I just every time I watch the show, I get more and more confused. But I like it, but then I don't like it, and then I get to a point where it's just like I kind of just want to find out like what's real and what's not, and then just like what the fuck's going on with the characters. Like at the same time, it's like I just want to know like if my theory is right, and if it's not right, and I just wanted to just make new theories, you know, while watching the show, which probably distracts me from it. But like I like it, but I just get every episode just confuses me.
Yeah, my thing with this episode is that I just want to keep watching. I want to know what happens. I'm compelled to finish this show because I want to know.
Yeah, I think Wonder Egg's obviously fine. It's not going this week.
Yeah.
But it does a lot of things this episode. Oh, we also get the pets. We get the pets.
Yes,
We get power ups.
Pets are good.
Which by the way, why are we hiding these? Like, but that's besides the
Yeah,
point.
I mean, there's definitely nothing suspicious about the way that these two fucking strange voices who run this egg dealership definitely
Also
nothing
run a pet
strange going
shop?
on with them. Yeah, they just have these amulets that probably are like cursed JoJo items. Who knows?
You know, now the haters are here though. Instead of
Where's
Cena
the-
people, now they got
where-
haters.
Where's the downside of these pets? Is what I want to know. Like, what's the
Eventually they will have to kill them, and it will be an emotionally tugging moment.
Well, I'm ready to go to
Pet
the
will become one
I have
big
voted.
giga hater.
I know how I feel, and I have voted.
Yeah, I
I
only
think I voted
slayed
as well.
I have
That's a good
slayed.
question.
I have slayed 3 this week, like I
Did I say
intended to
3
do.
or 4? I think I slayed 3. I should
Sean,
check
my guess as to what one the third one you slayed was incorrect before this.
Oh,
I think we all know
you
what's
know what it
going
is
this
now?
week, but
Sean, you telling me it wasn't super obvious off of the way you spoke about a show?
Sure.
I slayed what's it called? Dungeon Boonies and Animal Planet.
That's
I
right,
also
Animal
slayed those
Planet.
two.
the fuck did I slay this week? I slayed 243 back arrow.
Instrument.
Other side, and I think skate actually.
What the fuck is wrong with
I can read off mine.
Did I say skate? I don't remember.
Imagine slaying Skate. When you
I
have
just-
everything else in this season still.
Reki deserves to get slayed alone.
Oh, you're so.
Yeah,
wrong.
he deserves to be slayed.
He deserves retcon, dude.
Slay the infinity.
All right, guys. Let's
What do you
play this game of did Dylan save or slay this? Okay.
Let's play the
2.43.
game of how
Slay.
many
Slay.
people-
Slay.
Slay. Correct. Back arrow.
Save.
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 It was a save. Correct.
Yeah.
Heaven's Design Team.
Slay.
Slay.
Save.
Slay.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, Animal
Slay.
Planet hater.
It was a slay. Count if you're right or wrong. Horimiya.
Not even a question.
Save.
Moving on.
Save. Kimono Jihen.
Save.
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 Slay.
No, I put slay.
Called it.
Other side picnic.
Slay.
Out of here.
Slay.
Slay. Get
Save.
the fuck out of here.
Slay.
Skate the Infinity.
Save.
I think you still slayed it.
I
I
still
slayed
slayed it.
Yeah.
I slayed it.
I'm just saying
Uh,
save.
Last dungeon boonies.
Saved.
Slay.
Slayed it. Wonder Egg priority.
Save.
Slay.
Yay! I got
I
one.
saved it.
Really?
One
I was
wrong.
gonna say there's no way he's gonna there's no way he can bring himself to save Back Arrow and slay Wonder Egg right now. That's the only reason. If he had slayed Back Arrow, he would have also probably slayed Egg.
All right, let's get to the
Dylan
total
would
then.
slay everything except for Horimiya, dude.
This
Yeah,
is
no,
Horimiya is the
probably.
best.
guys, we can't keep doing this.
Is it a tie?
So we have 3 slays.
actually?
We have three.
How?
We have 3 slays for Senin High School volleyball team. 1
Dope.
slay for Back Arrow. I can't believe someone could be on such the wrong side of history on this podcast. We have
Garbage.
4 slays for Heaven's Design team. Hey Dash, this is your fault. I want you to
What?
know this.
Wait,
This is your fault.
why is this my fault?
We have 5 saves for Horimiya. Who's surprised?
I'm
We have 1 slay for Kimono Jihin.
That was me.
No, okay.
It actually wasn't me.
We have 2 slays for Other Side Picnic. We have 2 slays for Skate the Infinity. We have 4 slays for Dungeon Boonies.
wait!
And we have 5 saves for Wonder Egg Priority.
Okay,
Wait,
I already know what I'm
actually
voting. I'm getting off fucking. I'd rather watch Dungeon Boonies than fucking Animal Planet.
actually could have slayed Dungeon Boonies.
And I
You
agree
didn't
with
slay
Jackman.
either. That's
I-
wild.
That's 2.
I think I actually... Ooh, give me a minute. I have to think about this.
We're tied.
We're
I'd
tied
rather
with
watch
Dungeon
cheap
Boonies.
comedy than another Animal Planet show.
The Animal Planet show is cheap comedy.
cheap
What?
comedy.
It
versus
has
cheap
no
comedy.
comedy. It has
It's
no comedy.
educational comedy.
That's not comedy.
That's not a selling
Yes, it
point. I
is.
actually
Yes,
hated
it
what
is.
happened. Wait, so Heaven's Design Team and Dungeon Boonies?
Yes. So it's
Heaven's
1-0.
Design Team is
1-0.
My vote.
2-0.
I mean, like,
It's
I don't need
really
to vote. I already know it's gonna get 4 votes. It's fine. I understand. It's time.
Michael?
I want to slay Dungeon Boonies. I enjoy Heavens more.
Ooh.
That's what I look
2-1.
forward to more each week.
2-1.
To the wheel. To
Sean.
the wheel. To the wheel.
Well, it's 2-2. I assume.
Dodge?
I will
Dodge is-
always vote for saving Heaven's Design Team.
2-2. Come on, Sean. I
Sean,
know
it's up to you.
after your description, you did not
To
want to
the
watch another
wheel.
episode
To
of
the wheel.
Sean,
To
you
the
want- Sean, you
wheel.
wanna put it on the
Planet.
To the wheel.
I do not want to go to another wheel this week.
I can't do it again. I can't do it again. I have to slay Heaven's Design Team.
Yes!
I can't do it
Wow.
again. This
Way to
show
bitch
can't.
out.
That show can't keep getting away with this.
I'm spinning the wheel
Criminal.
anyways.
I might regret that decision in the long run, but that has
It's
to
fine.
go.
We just get rid of Dungeon
Yeah, no,
Booties next week,
Yeah, Dungeon Boonies goes next week.
and then we vote 2 shows off.
How do
Yeah,
we
so
usually do
Dylan,
it? Is it
we're
by...
in Dylan, you weren't here for this discussion. We're in an interesting point. We're either gonna have to do a top 4 or we have to vote 2 shows off at some point.
Damn, the wheel would have picked Dungeon Boonies too. Unlucky.
What do you mean?
By
We
the
have-
time we get to the end of every episode, like we're gonna have 4 show. Like since we had 13,
We're gonna be episode 12 on like 4 shows because we have so
Yeah.
many shows.
So either we can do a top 4 or we have to vote 2 off at some point.
Top 4's fine.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
we had kind of agreed upon. I think was we were top
Yeah.
4. I think it's a good season to do a top 4.
I think so too.
I like murdering 2 shows at once. I like murder.
I mean,
Again,
we
I
could
think if
just
we were
murder
going,
2 shows this week.
I think
we
if
could
we
just
were-
say both
this
men are
way.
dead.
don't give me
That
that
is true.
power. Don't
I was
give me
Now
saying,
that is
I was
tempting.
thinking in the future we should make
Now
a
that
rule
is
that, like,
tempting.
if a show gets all 5 slays or like all slays, it goes off regardless if it's a tie.
I mean, yeah,
Like-
I think that's just a rule. If it is a human,
If a show is
unanimous slay, it
that
should
bad
just die.
that's universally getting every one of us to vote it off, it should just be gone regardless of ties.
The funniest thing is that Maya Setsu wouldn't have had that because you
Yeah.
decided to save Maya Setsu week 1 last week.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
season.
It died anyway.
It
That
died
means
anyway,
That,
so-
that does officially mean that Maya Setsu's a better show than Noblesse.
That is true.
Well, because it is. I don't.
I think I laughed more at Maya Setsu over
I
time.
was
than
I
did
was
Noblesse.
I was
No,
okay
no
with
opening.
its fight scenes. All right, so we say our praise to fucking Animal Kingdom, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
We will not be
That
watching
shit
Heaven's
outta here.
Design Team anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, we would stay to chat some more, but some of our people have to go. So, thank you for tuning in for this lightning round episode of Saber Slay. Anime
Lightning round
Affray.
except for Skate.
Winter episode 5.
Yeah.
Hey, we talked about a couple of things for a while. We probably could have legitimately finished this even faster if we wanted to.
Yeah, no, we talked about Skate for like 20 minutes.
I think
had
this was the
intended
first
to.
week that Egg didn't take the longest. It was definitely Skate.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Skate took forever.
They were probably close in all actuality.
No. Wonder
Skate
Egg
took
was like
the longest.
Wonder Egg was like 5 to 8 minutes. Skate was literally 20 minutes.
Well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week for episode 6.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See